This is my 1996 F-250, and I want to tell you why I think it's a better truck than most of the stuff that currently exists out there, at least for the money. So let's take a look at some of the features here and some of the favorites among many F-250 buyers and owners. One of those is the sound of opening the door. It's just a click that you can't get anywhere else. Of course, you have the wonderful triangle windows that these trucks are so well known for in the 80s and the 90s. It's a nice thing to be able to open it up and get some good ventilation on yourself. Next to those windows, you can't go wrong with the big wide tow mirrors. They sit pretty far out from the truck. This one's even got an extra wide mirror on it that really helps see behind you what's going on. Outside of that, you've got a 50-50 split bench here. This one's got a seat cover on it that I just installed the other day, and it's actually really nice. It fits really well on the truck. And then in the back, it's just a bench straight across that will come forward. And then again, this back piece here will fold down, so it kind of makes a big, nice shelf here. So if you want to put tools or anything like that in it, for now, I'm just storing a few items on it. Inside, we've got custom-made cup holders. They're a little oversized for the big Yeti cups and things. We've got a power port located right down here, and one more inside of the ashtray. Got a Bluetooth head unit. It works pretty well. And as you can see, this truck has been a little well worn. It's a little dirty down here. We're missing a few plastic pieces. Headliner is absent entirely. We've got a missing trim piece right here, but that's okay. A lot of the work that I've done on the inside is, number one, these seat covers. I think they did a really good job of helping to clean it up. The seats are leather underneath. They're not in that bad a shape, but they do make a big difference here. And as well, I've gone through this entire bezel. This came from Amazon, I believe. We had these black plastic pieces, the trim pieces here on the sides, but it helped to really clean it up. And then we got some parts from the junkyard here as well. So this inner clear piece is from the junkyard. Put in all new lights when I took everything apart. A new knob right here for the headlights and for the dimmers. And then the switch was actually the original fuel tank switch. But it's pretty good. You know, it gets the job done. I use a truck just for towing. And that's really kind of what I use it for, is towing, and then of course throwing things in the bed, which we'll take a look at here. We can see she's a little well worn. It's certainly been put through its paces. We've got corrosion out here on the top rails. We are going to do a bed liner through here. It'll really help clean it up and help protect from corrosion and things like that. And then as you can see, we've got actually a tailgate from a blue truck on this one. It came to me like that, but it functions, and that's really what I need it for. Now let's talk about the dollars. You know, kind of like I mentioned, the dollars and cents are a big deal when it comes to the modern day and age. This truck you can usually get for anywhere between $5,000 and maybe $10,000. It just depends on what you want and how good of a condition you want. I got this one for $6,500. It had 155,000 miles on the odometer when I got it. So she's got a lot of life left in her, especially with the 7.3 liter Power Stroke pulling it down the road. I feel good that engine is going to last me a long time on this vehicle. Can't go wrong with the door sound, but that is another downside here, is these doors oftentimes split. Inside you can actually see that door strap there. And this entire door panel is separated from the inside, and now it shakes. Otherwise, it's a good, crisp close. Now let's go back to the dollars and cents there and take a look at the Ford website here. We can find that new trucks, or at least an F-250 XL that's set up similarly, is still going to cost you around $54,000. Again, $6,500. $54,000. It's absolutely ridiculous what you can get the new stuff for these days. But on that subject, Chevy's going to be the same way. As you can see there, it's showing that one at, you know, $50,000 plus dollars. Again, for a base model with a diesel engine in it, you can shave off a few dollars if you go down to the gas engine, but $6,500 versus $50,000 plus dollars. Insurance is the same way. Insurance on this truck is $69 a month for me. That's all that I pay for it. And the new trucks are usually quoted in at about $210 a month, so triple what you would pay for something like this. Now, there are some downsides, obviously, to this vehicle. It's got dents in it. It doesn't have heated and cooled seats. It doesn't have some of the creature comforts. It may not ride as nice as the new trucks, and it only tows about 10,000, 11,000 pounds, depending on where you look. So it's not going to be as well equipped as the new stuff, but at that price point, it's just a darn bargain, in my opinion, for the difference that you get between that and this. I mean, this is still a very, very useful truck in this day and age. You can still take it off-road. Mine's a two-wheel drive, so I don't really plan on doing much of that. But what I need it for, to be a truck, to go out and tow, it does darn well. And that's what I really appreciate about it. Especially compared to the new stuff and how expensive it is. I don't also want to pay for parts to break on the new trucks. You can't find parts at junkyards, and if you can find parts, usually you're going to have to get them from Motorcraft, and they're going to cost probably 2 or 3 times as much. An AC compressor on this truck is about $250. An AC compressor on a 2024 model is $500 from Ford. Both Ford parts from the same source, but they're double in price for the new stuff. I like this truck. It's vintage. It's got some character to it. It sounds great. And outside of it looking a little bit old, that doesn't bother me. I really like the styling of it. It gets down the road just fine. So for the money, I'd much rather have 1 or even 2 or 3 or 4 of these trucks. Really, I only need 1, but for the price, you could get a few of these for what you could get a new truck. Anyway, maybe find on your local Facebook marketplace and go see if you can pick one up. They're great units, and they're still very relevant in today's day and age.